Market Monday. I tried to wait as long as I possibly could to see if Butt Leaks had any more information on the content this week, but it looks like he's done for the day. So I am recording this, and this is being uploaded a bit later than usually, an hour or two later. But let's get right into it. Bunch to talk about, right? Content schedule, jam-packed. There's so much to talk about. Starting out with Collector Series. Let's quickly hop on over to Mutt and quickly discuss these cards. Now, your LTDs are very, very good. Very, very big names, but I just don't think these cards are worth the price tag. Right? Calvin Johnson, 88 speed, 6'5". But you're going to have to spend around 4 million coins, at least on Xbox, if you want this card for your team. You're pretty much paying for the name. There are so many other receivers that are comparable, I would say, to his card. Even like a T. Higgins, right? All 32 team camps. If you have 50-50 theme team, he has 87 speed. He's one less speed than Calvin Johnson, and he's free. Taylor Mays, right? 88 speed, 6'3", but he's also going for 2.8 million coins. I actually think the unsung heroes of this content drop are the champions. You've got Christian Okoye, sneakily really, really good running back because he has a good spin move. I know his spin move stat is low. Trust me, try him out in game. His spin move is very good. Larry Allen will probably be the best left guard in the game for some time. The next best left guard was Quentin Nelson. He was an 86, and he was going for like 400k. You now can get an 88 for 420k. Could probably build it a bit cheaper. And then Danielle Hunter is the second fastest stock speed defensive end or edge player in the game, apart from Von Miller. You know, he's under 400,000 coins as well. And then Jordan Brooks is another 85 speed Michael linebacker. I think all of these cards really hold a place in the game, and they're not extremely expensive like Taylor Mays and Calvin Johnson. They're not the sexiest names, but they're good cards. Now back to the content schedule. We've got NFL Rivals. Scroll up a bit, we'll see these cards. Here they are. Mac Wilson into Tua Tagovailoa. NFL Rivals is a uniform kind of thing going on with the NFL. This year, it's AFC East teams and NFC West teams. So I would assume we are going to get 2 LTDs from, of course, the remaining 6 teams, the 3 Tuesdays following this, and we'll kind of run through the remainder of Season 2. Of course, the first 2 teams, Dolphins and Cardinals, 1 team from each division. Hopefully, we see the NFL Rivals uniforms in-game tomorrow. But knowing EA, they're probably not going to do that. Why? Because the entire community wants the uniforms in the game, and it took them an entire year to put alternate uniforms in the game. Seems like, you know, that's a bit of a budget thing with EA. They can't get them in the game. I don't know. But Mac Wilson, Tua Tagovailoa, sorry. Decent cards. Mac Wilson, really, Jordan Brooks is the same-ish card, same speed. And then Tua is Tua. So, should be pretty cheap. There's an offer that guarantees an LTD, one of those 2, as well as 85 overalls. Back to the content schedule. Hispanic Heritage Month content. Now, fair warning, these cards on the screen, we'll go through them really quickly. Isaiah Pacheco, running back, 87 speed. Elijah Arroyo, tight end for the Seahawks, 84 speed. Got Corey, not gonna try to pronounce that last name, but he's the best puncher in the game for the Browns. Alejandro Villanueva, left tackle for the Steelers. And then edge Jose Ramirez, not the baseball player, for the Buccaneers. These cards actually on paper look really, really good. The thing is, with free content like this, you never know how you're going to be able to get it. Can we get one of these 88 overalls starting tomorrow, or is it going to take us a few weeks? You know, how many can we overall get? We won't know until we log in tomorrow. But on paper, these cards look to be definitely usable for your team. We'll just see how long it takes to acquire and upgrade these fully to 88 overall. Back to the content schedule. We'll talk about it a bit. Reduxes, 87 overalls. There's not a ton of 87 Reduxes, but I do want to talk about them a little bit. And then we got Team Builders Release 2. I'm expecting these to be 88 overalls and 85 overalls with 90 overall super champions for each conference. And of course, Team of the Week, Week 3, Unstoppable Release 2, and Legends. Let's now get into Mutt Leaks. I'm going to check notifications to see if Mutt Leaks, nope, it was not Mutt Leaks. But let's get into the content for this week. Again, we don't have Team Builders, we don't have Team of the Week, we don't have Legends. Your LTDs for the Unstoppable Release 2, Rob Gronkowski and Aiden Hutchinson there. And then your champions are DeAndre Hopkins and Jalen Ramsey and Dexter Lawrence and Tremaine Edmonds. Jalen Ramsey, the premier player from this batch, part of that, you know, elite Jaguars theme team. So he should be really, really good. We'll see with the rest of the cards what their speed and abilities are like. We also did get a bit of future information regarding new crystal players, although the new crystal players don't seem to have a speed boost, you know, tied to their chemistry. Wouldn't shock me if EA has the new crystal cards still able to get the old crystal chemistry to get that +1 speed boost on those cards. So it kind of gives you more options than just the 3 players of Micah Parsons, Saquon Barkley, and Patrick Surtain. That is your content for this week. Oh, one more thing we got to get into, because I didn't make my video in the middle of last week. I got a bit sidetracked. Season 2 and information, because this came out, I believe, on Tuesday, the day after Market Monday. Of course, the Unstoppable program, the part 2 dropping this Thursday, the final content drop of, the 88 overall champions, or not the final drop of 88 overalls, but, the 88 overall promo. Starting on the 2nd of October, this should be that first kind of mainstay 89 overall program. It's the Unreal Moments. New program, of course, it'll be Unreal Moment players, probably famous plays. Odell Beckham Jr., probably the name that pops out to me the most in his one-handed catch. Again, 89 overalls, and this should run for 2 weeks. The following Tuesday, the 2nd and the 9th, a 2-week promo of 89 overalls. And then that is, of course, followed by Most Feared starting on the 16th, and will run for 3 weeks as Most Feared does. And those will undoubtedly be 90 overall champions and 91 overall LTDs. But that is kind of a look ahead for the remainder of Season 2. And then, yeah, if you missed it, the Field Pass players right now can be up to 88 overall. I guess you could say next Wednesday, they should be able to go up to 89 overall. Some really, really good cards here. Armand Membu's best right tackle in the game. I've personally been a really big fan of Jonathan Allen. Cam Ward can give you kind of that elite quarterback option, and you don't have to spend any coins. Devontae Adams, I don't think he's mentioned here, but Devontae Adams is part of the team pass. Essentially, everybody gets him. Really, really good budget wide receiver. Carlton Davis, good DB. Dre Greenlaw, good linebacker. And again, they get all 32 team chems, so they are really, really good cards in game. If you want extended coverage of the market and how I make my coins, subscribe to the Coin Bible exclusively on coinbible.gg. Link in the description. Hopping now into MUT. Make sure, guys, if you have not finished up what you at least are striving for in the ranked session, there are 8 days left. So if you want any of these cards, make sure you go out. I don't know why I went top 100. Make sure you go out and get them if you're going to do so. I guess we could take a look, kind of go through the content for this week. 85 overall, right? That's the overall that's going to be tied to a lot of the content, right? Team of the week, Team Builders, Unstoppable Part 2. I've said it to my Coin Bible members, and I'll say it to you guys. 85 overalls. I have no clue what they're going to do this week. Of course, the prime optimal buying period for these cards was like last Wednesday and Thursday, even Tuesday, you could say. You were able to get these cards for like 70 to 75k. They were extremely, extremely cheap. I just don't know what these cards go to with the content drops, right? There's multiple content drops. One of them will undoubtedly, and I don't know why I clicked on that card again. One of these promos is going to raise a specific type of 85 overall. I have no clue what it's going to be. Is it going to be Unstoppable? Is it going to be Team of the Week? Is it going to be Team Builder? I have no clue. It's going to be depending on what abilities these cards get, what stats these cards get, and really what offers they drop. But 85 overalls right now, you can pick them still up for like 80, 75k if you do want, but that would be, the overall, the target card you would buy if you want to pre-build and prep for any of these content drops coming up. As for general market advice, I don't have much, words of wisdom this week. I know last week, of course, was the brand new season. I was trying to tell people just wait, be patient. We're getting so many free cards, and I guess we're getting some free cards this week too with Hispanic Heritage Munch, but I guess we're getting a lot of content in the middle of the week with Team Builders. But overall boost next week, so be patient. I guess the word or the theme of this video, I would have to say, is a lot of cards have been coming out recently and they don't move the needle, especially LTDs, despite their expensive price tag. We already talked about Calvin Johnson. We talked about Taylor Mace. These cards in no way in hell justify the 4 million and 3 million coin price tag, right? Amari Cooper, he's going right now, looks like for 2.2 million coins. He's a really good card. I had him. I used him this weekend in ladders. It is good that he gets all 32 team counts, but like a player like Devontae Adams, who you can get for free, is -1 speed and gets all 32 team chems. I just don't think there's no. The other thing too about this, and I played a shit ton of games, MCS ladder, so I can tell you at the highest of levels about gameplay. Abilities in this game, apart from the quarterback abilities, suck. They do not work, especially on the defensive side of the football. Even abilities like Pick Artist, any zone KO ability that comes out, any defensive line ability that comes out, they're not worth it. A player like Aaron Donald, came out this past Thursday, and he's going for 2.5 million coins. He's 1.5 million coins for now. Dog, this card is not much different than Warren Sapp 85 overall. I promise you, they're not that much different in game. You don't need to spend the 1.5 million coin card, 5 million coins to get this card. So in general, like, strategy for building and acquiring team, do not use my team as an example. I'm playing for the moolah. I'm playing for the money. I'm need a even playing field. If I were not doing that, my team would consist of the budget beast, the cards that drop the most each and every week. And again, if you're looking to make upgrades for your team, do it on Wednesday and Thursday this week. Again, we're getting so much content. Team of the week, team builder, and stop part 2. You're going to see cards. For example, I know this from this past week, but if we go to the game time promo, Tataroa McMillan, 87 overall. He's -1 speed to Cal, or no, is he 87 speed? No, he's 80 speed. I take that back. He's -2 speed to Calvin Johnson, right? But Calvin Johnson's 4 million coins. This Tataroa McMillan was 130k this past Thursday when Justin Jefferson was released. So be on the lookout for these cards that drop at these similar positions to the players we're getting, on Thursday. Of course, this Thursday, we're getting a Jalen Ramsey card. So I would possibly be on the lookout for corners. Travis Hunter, Charvarius Ward. I don't know if Charvarius Ward is really worth it. Again, unless you're a big pick artist guy at the cornerback position. But like Travis Hunter's still the best card in the game. Like, don't get it twisted. He's the best card in the game. He's 340k. Be on the lookout for Travis Hunter this Thursday. When that Jalen Ramsey drops, you might see Travis Hunter drop to 250, 275k. That's when you're going to want to go and pick up this card. But don't go out there, right? There's the expensive cards. Charles Woodson. Patrick Tane's a bit different, because he's crystal card. But don't pay for these overpriced cards, man. There's no ability in the game. Like in years past, you could say that first mid-zone KO defensive back, or that first deep zone KO defensive back that came out, you felt like, and you really did, in game, it was a significant advantage to have that card. That doesn't exist this year. So build your team mainly off of speed, and build your team kind of through your theme team in the way you're like able to get, players up to that speed rating of the newest cards, because they're not going to get any abilities that are going to change the game. So again, new cards, best time, or look to buy old champions, old content this Wednesday, this Thursday, when that team builder content, that team of the week content, and that unstoppable part 2 content. Oh, Reduxes. I almost forgot to talk about Reduxes, and I have, I guess, a discussion, a monologue laid out for this. I have Michael Vick 87 overall. I have Patrick Surtain 86 overall. One thing I'll mention with Redux is it being an 86 plus pack. The 87 Reduxes are probably not going to fly out of the pack. They're usually probably a 15 to 20% likelihood of pulling them in that offer. There actually are not a lot of 87 overall LTDs. It was really the shortest overall period we had. I believe it was 1 week. So you can kind of see it's really just the Campus Heroes and a few Legends and 1 LTD. We'll see if Cam Little is actually put into packs. The thing is about Reduxes, and this is more along the lines of Patrick Surtain. Last time I sold Patrick Surtain, because we were getting Reduxes in game, I got coin wipe for 4 million coins. You guys know that I've mentioned it a few times these past few weeks. I have Patrick Surtain again, and more than likely this card is going for, he's going for right now 1.5 mil. Probably drops to 750, 800k when that offer gets put in the store. I could sell him right now for 1.5 mil and save myself 750k, but I run the risk of getting coin wiped, and I have to. It sucks that we have to have this conversation, but it's a conversation we have to have. Selling these LTDs like the day before we're getting them reduxed, I don't think it's worth it anymore. Because if they drop in price in half, which they can easily especially the 86 overall Patrick Surtain, you run the risk of getting banned. Again, I have Michael Vick, for example. He's going for like 750k. He probably drops to 500k. Probably not going to get me banned if I sell him for 750k right now. But maybe he drops to 350k. And if that happens, I run the risk of getting banned. I think if anybody has a considerable amount of coins or, overall account value, and you have some of these 87 overall LTDs, you have the 86 overall Patrick Surtain, just eat the loss. It's better than getting coin wiped, I promise. And honestly, Patrick Surtain and Michael Vick, they probably rebound to the prices they are at once that offer goes away in the store. I would say the only reduxes you would probably be super safe and no worry about selling is these ones that are only going for 500k, because they probably only dropped like 250, 300k. At that, I wish I could say you can, but I don't know. You might. This is crazy. We have to have this conversation. I feel like it's been years in the making, but I really have to put it out there now that, yeah, you run the risk. You sell Charles Woodson for 884K and he goes to 400K tomorrow. There's a chance you get banned. So that sucks that we have to mention that, but it's something we have to mention. But I think that's everything I want to go over overall in Market Monday for this week. Again, there's not too much but market content. We're at that point. It's getting a bit repetitive. There's not a brand new slew of information I can really give you. I guess the best sets from this past weekend, I'm pretty sure game time sets have been pretty popular. Travis Hunter, like I mentioned, has been really, really good. Older legend sets throughout the week, right? Especially targeting offensive linemen. Jari Evans was really, really good this past week. Elton Jenkins, the 86 overall center, is one of those sets that is really good throughout the week. I could almost guarantee you the new Larry Allen is going to be one of those sets that later in the week, that card probably rises in price and you're able to build his stat still for cheap. You know, come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably rises over the course of the weekend. So again, target those offensive lineman sets. Maybe you want to wait and see if Team Builders drops any 88 overall offensive linemen, because we'll probably get 1 or 2 of them. But offensive linemen, you know, the 86, even 86s, 87, 88s, again, Jari Evans, Larry Allen, Elton Jenkins off the top of my head. Those have been some of the best sets to do. Team of the week sets also are very hit or miss. If the champions are really, really good, oftentimes later in the week, those could be some of the best sets to build. This past week, the champions were kind of meh. Really wasn't a lot of profit to be made off of those. But those, I guess you could say that's the set report from this past week from myself. But yeah, that's, I think, all I wanted to get into. All I wanted to talk to for this Market Monday. I will see you guys all next week. And until then, peace.